Okay, so this is an unbelievably good episode if you are an influencer or a brand and you are engaging in influencer marketing. So we have Kameron on this episode, who is an attorney as well as a content creator. So this is really good because you have two benefits here. You have what it looks like from the legal standpoint when you're working with influencers, and you also have what it looks like from the content side. So we go into all the details about what influencers need to look at when they are negotiating deals with brands, vice versa. There's a huge amount of tips and takeaways from this, and there's a ton of info in there that's gonna make your marketing so much better. I can't wait to see you in there. What's kind of like the most common scenario of people who come to you?
You know what? It's TikTokers. And I think because it's such a new platform and it's growing so fast. And I think people that originally got on TikTok were just like, oh, it's just gonna be this fun thing. Like no one's gonna actually be trying to do brand deals and make money as quickly as it did. So then now so many TikTok people, that may be the first platform they were on. Maybe they didn't ever get on YouTube or ever get on Instagram. And they're like, wait, I have this brand that I love to work with reaching out to me. What do I do with these contracts? So I've been getting a lot of TikTok creators, but honestly, across the board in a variety of different like areas, as far as like fashion and lifestyle and gaming, I've pretty much seen it all. Even some talent management companies.
Is there more sort of legal requirements for TikTok versus like an Instagram, for example? Is it kind of like, is there more risk on TikTok for brands or influencers versus Instagram or something?
That is a great question. I think where the issue comes with TikTok is there's so much copyrighted music. So that's where it gets a little bit tough over there, because as most of us know, like trending songs is how you grow on TikTok. But when you're working with a brand, you can't use those trendy songs. So what's the way around that so that you can still kind of grow in the algorithm and get to know TikTok and make sure you're on the explore page and stuff like that? But you can't use that music. So what's the way around that? What are songs that you can use? So that's probably, I'd say, one of the number one concerns I've seen on TikTok.
What does a contract agreement kind of look like between, say, a TikToker and a brand? Is this just a document? Is there software that people use? If I'm a TikToker, what's the best way to stay in the green?
Ooh, okay. So it kind of goes for all the platforms. So first things first, a lot of contracts vary because it's so new. To think that we're just now using contracts within the past, I'd say like 3 years or so, brands are just now really saying, hey, we need a contract, or influencers are like, hey, I really need a contract for this. So it's still so new. Honestly, every contract I have reviewed for myself and my clients, they all are different. So different. Of course, they include some of the general things that you have to have, like what is everyone's name? Where are they located? What are the deliverables you have to present? When is the content due? How many reshoots? What is the governing law and all of those things? But specifically, like I really think the difference with TikTok is that music element and also the time frame, right? So it comes to, if you're shooting on YouTube, you have the option of a longer form content. But with TikTok, you really want to stay within that 15 seconds and 30 seconds ideally. Yes, they have the minute, but you know, you really on the platform. Yeah, if you really want to grow, people want that quick, funny, interesting, organic content on TikTok. So how do you incorporate that in the brand? So it definitely varies, but I think over time we're going to get to more of a standard, which I'm excited for, because brands don't know, we don't know. It's so new. Even I hosted a CLE for lawyers, and they're still, we're all still trying to catch up and play it as we go.
In terms of when it's an influencer working with a brand, what's the best sort of payment structure in these contracts? Obviously the later the payment, the better for the brand, but what's best for the creator?
Right. So I think how I like to separate payments is when the brand initially reaches out to the creator, they're just talking about the content, right? They're just talking about, we want you to post on TikTok. We want you to post on Instagram, and maybe they can repost. So that's generally it. So when you think about like how emails are set up, it's pretty quick. Like if you print it out, it may be like 2 or 3 pages long, but then when you get the contract, it's like 20 pages long. So clearly there's something else within the contract that I'm agreeing to that we never discussed in the email. So I always like to lay that out for my clients. Like just think about it like that and really dig deep into that contract. So even when I give the initial rate, like say I send my rate sheet, I'm like, okay, we're agreeing about this amount. I always say it's contingent on what the contract says, or it is going to depend on what the contract says, and that will be my final rate. So when you separate it like that, it won't kind of lock you into a certain price before you even get to see the contract. So that's what I try to tell creators. That to me is like a really pro tip when it comes to the influencer space as a creator. Because it's awkward to say, okay, I know I said this price, but I saw the contract and this is actually the price. So to avoid that like awkward nature, I always just tell them ahead of time, this is my price right now, but I'm leaving some wiggle room just in case the contract says otherwise.
At what point should you start using contracts? Like, there's obviously a difference between micro influencers, medium and large influencers, and the price range goes from, free product all the way up to, millions of dollars.
Exactly.
So at what point should you start thinking about, putting in a contract? Because, it is a lot of work for the creator as well.
For sure.
Going through that process and everything.
Definitely. I always say err on the side of contract. So if you're obligated to do something, as soon as a brand is saying, we're sending you this product, even if it's free, but they're requiring you to post or requiring you to act and do something, there should be some type of an agreement. It doesn't have to be the full out long 20-page contract, just so that you, as well as the brand, understands what's going on. So as soon as I receive, it can be something as simple as both of people's names. And it just says, as soon as creator receives the product, they will post one Instagram in feed within 15 days. The payment will be delivered within 30 days. It will be paid on this platform. We sign it. Sometimes it could be as simple as that, especially when we're talking about just product. But what happens is, even just kind of helping the brands really quick, is that small brands or small businesses, they may reach out to creators and send them free product thinking that they're going to post, and then they don't. So if there's no contract requiring them to do so, as a creator, you don't have to. And I tell brands that. I say, I love to be on your PR. I love to get this product, but because I'm receiving this as a gift, I have no obligation to promote or share. And it's okay to be that honest. And then if they want that, we can talk about what that looks like so everyone understands.
If I am an influencer and I'm looking to get a contract made just for maybe just a standard contract to protect me and make sure I get paid, what sort of ballpark pricing should I be looking at, just so that everybody listening knows when they're like getting a good deal or when they're just like getting rinsed?
Absolutely. So it does vary. I've of course looked at other websites. I do have templates right now. They're being customized and updated because I want to make them shorter, because I don't like reading long contracts. So I'm like, why am I giving other people to do it? Let's figure that out. So it varies. So a range is going to be broad because it could go higher or lower. I think a safe range is $250 to $850, $250 to $850, somewhere in there. And I know $850 sounds like a lot, but some attorneys, as well as I do this, if it's multiple contracts on a monthly recurring basis, I do have like a membership where I have clients that I kind of have me on retainer, so to say, as their consultant, where I use Voxer. It's an app, voice messaging and text messaging app. So they can kind of have me on more of a recurring on the call kind of basis. When something comes up very quickly, I help them with email drafting. So it really depends on how strict that attorney or that contract consultant is being with what they're reviewing. Just strictly a contract, I still think probably more on that lower end, but definitely it can be tough because sometimes it's the back and forth revisions. Because if I do the initial review, of course you're going to want to help me if they send back some updates, or if you have more questions, you kind of want to have that access to make sure you get the final end of that contract and sign it.